Hey guys, what's up? Givenup 96 here. So I was thinking about doing a video today, and I was thinking about what it could be. Thinking to myself, what's something I haven't told you guys about? Well, today we're gonna talk about me and how I've come to this world of horror that I love so much. Because, as you guys know from my videos and everything that I show about my life, I'm a big horror fan. And my introduction to horror is kind of not like most. I grew up in a household that was very wholesome when I grew up, for lack of a better term. Horror movies were not allowed because my dad just had no interest in them. He was more of a... in his teenage years, he did. Like, we all have people in our lives that our parents or our friends or relatives, they went through that horror phase, and well, with anything, some people outgrow phases, some don't. I'm one of those people who got my phase late and have never outgrown it. I am definitely one of the younger, which I've been called before. I am one of the younger horror guys on YouTube. I'm not super young. I'm 26. Just in case no one knew that about me. But I got into horror probably about age 15. Well, let me check my phone's plugged in over there. Maybe... how old would I have been? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies. I was raised in a family that was strictly Disney movies and whatever Dad wanted to watch on TV. That's just how I grew up. I'm from the Midwest, and in my part of the world, that's how almost all of us grew up, at least me and my friends. I definitely had a big impact into movies at a young age, from watching Star Wars at a very, very young age. My dad bought the VHSs, put them on layaway, and then we got them soon after that, and I watched them. I watched them continuously, and I grew up with the Disney, all the Disney movies as a kid. That's why if you ever watch my videos, it's basically 50% horror, 50% Disney. Well, no, 75% horror, 25% Disney. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. I'm trying to get to the point of how I grew into horror, but I'm trying to give you this background about me. So, okay, grew up in a Disney household. One thing you need to understand about my mom is she is absolutely terrified of horror films. Or horror in general. She wouldn't even watch X-Files or let us watch X-Files growing up at all. Again, with that wholesome family. She's absolutely terrified of horror films. Me and my brother, we're 5 years apart, and when I discovered horror at 15, 16, I showed it to him right away. And we both fell in love with it. He has since not fallen out of love, but definitely not like we used to be. But on to what I was getting at with my mother. She cannot watch horror at all. We went to the not so great, but not horrible Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and she actually had to leave the room because she couldn't bear to watch what was going on. But that's just how my mom is. My parents are divorced, um, but that has nothing to do with anything. They get along now. We all get along. My mom's remarried. My dad doesn't live that far away. My dad and my stepdad actually go hunting. But that doesn't matter. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at, along with everything else in this whole idea, is horror is a big deal to me, and no one really gets that around here. It's in this YouTube space where, like, I have some friends that get it, like Mr. Horror Fiend Brett and Horror Freak 54 Rob. They get it. But I would say some of my friends don't understand it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love my friends to death, whether they get or don't get my horror obsession. But I feel that this is what I enjoy. Like, I feel a part of something bigger when I'm talking about these horror films and talking with the horror community, which I've grown to be a part of with people like Toddy Walnuts and Loudsburg 7-Eleven, Charles. I'm gonna call you Charles because I can't pronounce your screen name yet. The Horror Addicts, just like Manny Rapasso, Andrew Bellina, all these guys that have I've talked to in the past. Maybe not talked. I haven't talked to all of them to the same extent, but I feel a part of a community, and I really love that feeling that I've discovered in this community, and I really hope that this doesn't come off as weird when I say this. But anyway, this is about my introduction to horror, and I feel like this video's already gone on like 7 or 8 minutes, and I haven't even mentioned it. Basically, when I was young, I was terrified, absolutely terrified of horror, because I grew up in the household that I'm trying to describe. And at the time it was scary, but when I turned about 14, 15, somewhere around that area of age, I believe The Ring came out, and everybody was talking about it. And I watched it, and I felt it was okay. I enjoyed the rush that it gave me. But that seeing bits and pieces of other horror movies on TV that I shouldn't have been watching, this kind of feeling of the guilty pleasure, the forbidden fruit, as some people would say. The Ring, or The Ring or Serpent and the Rainbow might have been one of the first full-length horror movies that I've actually seen. I mean, I would catch snippets of like Friday the 13th, and actually the first Friday the 13th I've seen, which is the reason why it has such a huge impact on me is Friday the 13th Part 7. I know it's ridiculous. Psychic versus monster, but I really, really enjoy it for what it is. And it's honestly my favorite of the series because that's one of the films that introduced got me into this horror community. Horror entity that it is. And after watching The Rain, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't start out watching Lucio Fulci's Zombie or watching. I did watch Freddy versus Jason at a young age, but maybe I did watch that. But I'm saying when I got big, it was around 14 or 15. But it definitely is something that took hold and is just like this awesome thing. I mean, I we I wasn't born in the 80s heyday of slashers. I was born in the 90s of meta cinema horror and Japanese reboot horror. I'm born in 89. So when I was 7, Scream came out. So you can basically guess the teeny bop horror that would have been out during when I was growing up. So The Ring would have been one of the first ones that I saw. And then after I got into them and I watched through the first 2 Saw films, I actually stopped after the second one. I've since revisited the rest and they're mediocre, okay. I really enjoyed Saw 2. I thought that one was fun. Really fun to me. And the first one was really good. But after I got through that, I still watch horror movies as they come out. Sinister is one of my favorites. Didn't need a sequel, but still one of my favorites. I plan on seeing The Visit, but just after I saw The Rain and other movies around that same time. The Grudge. I really enjoyed The Grudge as growing up. I thought that was so scary. Since then, I've figured out it really wasn't. And am I not record? Okay, I am recording. Um, Sorry, I've been talking all this time and I thought I wasn't recording. That kind of scared me. But The Grudge was definitely one of those films for me that definitely cemented this whole idea of horror. Along with Texas Chainsaw Remake. It is what it is. But after that point, I started watching the classics, all the Friday the 13th, all the nightmares. Freddy Krueger became one of my favorite horror icons. Wes Craven, favorite. Wes Craven, favorite genre director of all time. It is what it is. I've grown into this horror fan or horror. Well, in my town, I'm a horror aficionado. I don't know as much as some people, but in my area, I know a lot. And that's what I enjoy. I enjoy this community that I'm able to talk to you guys about. I enjoy that I'm able to talk to people that understand my love of horror. And that's why I think YouTube is this great thing. Now, I know I don't have that many subscribers, but the ones that I do have really mean a lot to me. And the fact that we're able to talk and the level that we talk, whether it be not at all to just every now and then on the fly, it means a lot, and I want you guys to know that. So, this is Givenup 96. This is my intro to horror. I hope you guys like this video. I really enjoyed making it. It's definitely, like, it made me question a lot of things. And as you guys can tell, just like all my videos, this has been a straight one cut, one shot thing. Well, all my recent videos. I used to do multiple shot editing composition. But now I'm starting to do this whole one shot, one take. So it's just a really cool community that we've come and made, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Have fun.